Not quite full thesis yet. Rocco, what do you think about what I'm seeing on this 30-minute?
Yeah. No, I see exactly what you're saying.
Like, started to I possibly put it on some like 565s for 1018 for a possible like little two or 3 day trade. Um, but again, I was going back and forth because again, still above these previous all-time highs, and I think some individual setups are still working a lot better and easier, and that there's a lot of really good like PR type plays as you've seen in the pre-market and with some of these uranium and like energy stocks like CEG and some of these utilities, as well as right, some of the China stocks and just some of these other technical setups. So still a back burner idea for now. Um, there are a couple PRs this morning. This EVGO had a nice upgrade earlier in the morning, which this popped on, pretty soon into pre-market. It started drifting higher, and then close a couple hours ago or an hour ago, this got a $1 billion, up to $1 billion loan from the Department of Energy for electric vehicle charging stations or mounts or whatever. And then this really took off, over this 440 to 445 mark, into $5 now. It's up about 27% in the pre-market. This has been right a pretty good stock, and I had a trade on this around the $4 mark back here, and ended up just kind of chopping around for a little bit, but it's held up really well and acting really nicely on a PR. I don't have charge points moving or anything now. And then yeah, that Google PR about some nuclear energy. I sent out that note immediately when Constellation, CEG, and Microsoft inked that deal for a 10-year agreement to supply some energy for Microsoft's data centers. I'm like, guys, this is going to be the first signs of like an arms race for these hyperscaler mega cap tech companies who are involved in all this data center AI stuff, right? That has been at the forefront of the market for the past 2 years. There's gonna be an arm race to supply some of that energy, which has already been a thing. If you look at VST, right, this is the leading stock of the S&P. It's up like 300%, and you're seeing just a lot more and more of these participate. And I think you're going to see more headlines than we've seen from Oracle, from Microsoft, from Amazon, from Google. I think there's going to be more and more coming out that are attractive for some of these independent power producers, such as CEG, VST, etc. There's my little rant. I guess my voice is feeling fine now. Just had to get it working out a little bit. Rocco.
Oh, did you throw it to me? Sorry. I zoomed it out a little bit.
So bad.
Uh yeah, so I see what you're seeing on the cues and SPY, this 478-ish is kind of, what I'm gonna be watching. We had a pretty tight, low tight inside day yesterday, so I think we could get some movement today. Um, obviously a positive sign would be like a, dip below this 478 or like, wick down and hold and, defend these moving averages. If not, I was thinking about potentially like taking some SOXS for like a trade if we end up like breaking down back through 237 in the 50-day. If this does end up being that big, like, two lower highs and like a big topping pattern kind of thing. But, then again, kind of feels like until we get like a next major macro catalyst, we're kind of just in like a big range on these indexes for now. So, we don't really have like a defined like short to medium term trend. So it's kind of hard for me to like want to short or long the indexes with like a lot of conviction. Probably just try to, continue to focus on some individual names. But I got an alert on this SOXS at 2240. Maybe we try it out as a trade. I'm not sure yet. We'll have to, see. I was also looking at XLF if this decided to like wedge drop and break down, to maybe play some like FAZ or something, but still not sure on that yet. I don't really, considering that the indexes look a little weak in the pre-market and the dailies maybe a little bit concerning. Until we really get a sign that they want to hold or some like ghost signal. I don't know that I really want to add anything new yet. I got a couple names on my list. I would say nothing really 5-star, but a few setups. I'd say, with this Nvidia gapping up, you really want to see this hold 120. If this ends up coming back through that level, might have a little bit of trouble, for the indexes and stuff. You'd really want to see this hold up today, and kind of mark maybe a little bit of a higher low from yesterday into today. As far as individual names, man, I have a few, but I mean, nothing really looks super ready into today. I got an alert set on this crowd over previous day's highs. If this ends up being like a little, base and break type setup after this EMA crossback back here. I also was looking at this CLS, which was, something potentially, if this is like an EMA crossback, it's back into the 920 and the 50. Put in a nice little undercut and hold yesterday. I got an alert set at yesterday's highs, or at this 50-60 spot. Maybe this could be something. This, kind of moves with the semiconductors as well, and like tech for the most part. So just, be mindful of that. I'm stocking this Oscar for a little undercut and rally, and in the coming days. I don't think it's ready yet. Same with ASTS as well for wedge pop. I had QCOM for like a potential short if the semis do get heavy. This has looked pretty weak. Still below like all the moving averages, and not very impressive on that one. So if we need some individual shorts, but that's like really it. I really don't have much to say. I mean, I'm curious to see what you got. I don't see a ton. I mean, I'm sure if the Qs end up holding this area, and then SPY holds this 565, and it's time to go, there's going to be a bunch of setups that present themselves. I got a lot of charts that look like they have potential, but aren't really ready to buy yet for me. OKLO's gapping up 7%. This is nice 2-day move so far, from our entry on Tuesday, I think that was, right? Honestly, so I wouldn't be surprised if this faded and came back through 10 today in the 200-day, if like the market's weak and stuff. A lot of chatter about it in the pre-market, whatever. But if it holds above 10 today, I'd say that'd be a very positive development on this chart. I mean, we through the 200-day, through that big $10 cycle level. So ideally that holds today, kind of mentally preparing for potential fade. We'll see. It's gapping up pretty much a full ATR. So, and then he's also kind of flirting with this 18 spot. We'll see how that plays. And then, yeah, I'm watching Tesla, how this builds out the 20 EMA over the coming days to potentially add back into that. And that's really all I got. I want to see, do you have anything that looks really actionable today?
Excuse me. Yes.
Pull up your screen real quick. I want to see what you got.
Yep. Sorry, excuse me. I've got starting to get a little bit of a cold. The herpes is going around. You know how it goes. I do like this BLDR still. This has been kind of basing for about 8 or 9 days now. Sorry, about 7 days. Right around this 9 EMA, holding this pretty well. Kind of reminds me back here, back in early September. Obviously, this is a more ideal spot to buy it from here. I do like this base set setup. It might be triggering right now in pre-market. I'm not sure if this is just spready action, which it appears to be. But I've been watching this 197 spot on this. This VKTX was also kind of standing out to me a little bit in this little base. This has been rather challenging. I know this is in a big old range underneath this like 70 to 71 spot. But I'm starting to eye this little pop yesterday. And there is some GLP-1 headlines today from Eli Lilly. You saw HIMS was down 12% in the pre-market off of Eli Lilly saying that they've got like good supply or whatever now. But I this GPCR, which I want to throw on people's radar as a one of the other speculative ones, like VKTX, which is very speculative about their like pill form or whatever. GLP-1, not the not injectable. GPCR is another one of those players. I do like this. I've got an alert over Wednesday's high about 44.50. EOSE still looks, I think, incredible. Got an inside day yesterday, flat open today. I think you keep this on the radar. This was a sick breakout on Monday, and we're just consolidating near the top of the range. I really like Restoration Hardware as well. Maybe it needs one more little shake and lower wick down into this 320 to 322 range if that occurs. If we do end up getting another lower wick type of daily candle, I will be a buyer on this. I love the way that this is consolidated post earnings. And this is to me is something that needs to be on your radar, setting up for a trade in the coming days and weeks. This is a nice multi-month base break. If you zoom out, this has been trading sideways, and they had some pretty positive earnings numbers. Again, off some of these like energy headlines, EVGL, look at this thing go 35%.
Yeah.
In some huge volume, already done 4 million. FLNCs was been in the headlines, a few times about some of those DOE things, DOE loans. This has been kind of trading decently. It's one of those IPP, independent power producers. Had a nice little hammer yesterday. Like the way it's building out, not immediately actionable, but it's on my list. LC, I like these double inside days in this base tree. I like that double inside days as well in this. So I'm still watching some of these lending things, LC and tree. RKT is on the radar, but not priority. Redfin, a little bit weaker on the radar, but not priority. I've got a few things. Yeah, I am feeling similar to that, Bracco. This MHK. I like this double inside days as well. This is setting up for a really nice flat top breakout here. Over 160, 161-ish on MHK. Coming out of a base breakout, working its way up the right side and setting up again. Again, sorry, it's not, Netflix or, Microsoft or whatever, but, quality setup is a quality setup. Those are the main ones that I wanted to highlight. I am as Ralph Lauren as we are retesting this little flat top breakout spot.
This
Little
might
bit
be
less.
pushing it a little, but I was looking at some potential Eli Lilly short if it crosses back here.
Yeah, I see that. I do. 100%. I mean, that's in a down cycle right now on the daily. JP Morgan, I do like that XLF idea. JP Morgan's been relatively weak. I set an alert on XLF here. A little bit less enthused. These China's Futu this is down at 107, down 5% in the pre-market. Bob was down 4%. I'm curious as to how these trade today. Again, these are going to need, probably a bit of time to consolidate some of these moves over the past week or so. Yesterday was a unique situation with gap up and some weak PRs on these stocks after they move 100% to get a 1 to 2 day fade off of these. But I still think it's important to respect the volume that came in, respect the speed of the move and the magnitude of it, and continue to look for setups. When you look at things like, again, this energy and uranium theme, these are really just going vertical on a lot of things, and that's not something to be afraid of. That's a sign of strength. We talk about playbook and textbook entries versus thematic entries, and kind of the varying differences of those kinds of trades. And I think it's important to study and pay attention to. Very nice, JJ. That's a nice little mover there on EVGO. Nice, JJ. Nice trade. Yeah, I'm a little bit less enthused today than I was yesterday. I think I this move on these uranium and these utilities is interesting, but I think they like OKLO, for example. Brock, when you alerted this, like that was the entry, right? So if you don't have a position and you're looking to buy it now, you really need to look yourself in the face in the mirror and say, what are you doing? Why do you want to buy this now and not when the setup was great? Because the entry was on either day one or in this consolidation afterwards, or on Tuesday or Wednesday, red to green. So that's, I guess, my little piece of harsh love. Yeah, I know. I said look yourself in the face. I meant look yourself in the mirror. Fishman, yeah, I like this BX look 2 pulling into the 20 MA for sure. It's a good look. It's a very good look, actually. Yep. INSP, I got on my list. Still got this KTOS. Still got some food too short. Yeah, I sent a chart out about the PRIN yesterday. You don't pay attention to this pre-market action. There's no volume on it. But I do really like this little flag into the 20. Kind of some of that BX Fishman, but you got a little breakout here over this 57 area. Nice little flag retracement in this. Been a really strong stock this year. So I'm, giving this setup some credit. Anything we're missing, man? Anybody? We'll see if Spy gives us a little bit of a baby short setup. Um, Again, just an idea or kind of baby thought right now. Not something that's really driving. Tickling my pickle, as they say. Sorry about that. We probably could have gone without that comment. Eh. Any final words before the market opens, Brocco?
Think so. We got 5 minutes, kind of getting my list finalized. Setting some alerts. Think the big tell today is going to be NVIDIA.
Yeah, we should probably mention this. This is up on Jensen was wearing a leather jacket on TV, so this is up 1.8% in the pre-market. No, just kidding. He had some positive comments yesterday about Blackwell demand being insane, up over 121. Good work. I know a lot of you guys got in this on around this 116, 116.50 mark on this classic oops reversal at the 50-day moving average. If you go watch the recording too of yesterday's live trading session, we talked about how you can risk against the 50-day moving average on this, and yeah, up substantially. I know Manrav alerted this, Camden as well. Yeah, no, they mentioned solar in that Google PR. Solar's just not getting any love right now. Nuclear and some of those like whatever other energies are getting all the love, which is fine. No glove, no love. You know what they say. A good life motto.
Yeah, I think if Nvidia fails and comes back through 120 today and like back into yesterday's range, that might trigger a short on the Qs or SMH for now. That'll be the big watch today.
I agree. That will be not a cool sign for the market. That will be pretty big negative. I'm not sure what I want to put on my focus. NRG and CEG. LC tree. Man, this Reddit's nice too, man. That's pretty hot. Nice little flag. You got flat open. This could be a nice one. Duke, I've been thinking about putting a swing on here. Need to figure out what I want to put by the main one is gonna be. I think I'm gonna use the first 15, 30 minutes, probably closer to 30 minutes to let the market tell me where to look. Oh, we'll get IO and Q. Yeah, yesterday that was a good ad. Tease, good work on that. A little torn. Like I said, I think I'm gonna use for about the first 30 minutes to sniff out what the market's got going on. I respect that, Guava. Get your stock price out. Let's go do we do people. Yeah, ISM and PMI 15 and 30 minutes in, by the way.
Oh,
Bostic speaking.